Measurements. This video is for vocabulary for a diploma in electrical engineering. How to learn vocabulary. First you learn the meaning, then you remember the spelling, then you listen to the pronunciation and you practice the word. Hopefully this video will help you for measurements. Centimeter, millimeter, micron, inch. Centimeter, millimeter, micron, inch. These are all words that describe the length of something. So centimeter is this one that you see on the ruler often. Then we have millimeter, which is 10 millimeters will make 1 centimeter. Then we have micron. Now a micron is very, very, very small, and we have 1,000 of them, as you can see in this picture, for 1 millimeter. So many more in a centimeter and even more in a meter. And then we also have inch. Inch is different to centimeters, it's longer, and it's one of the measurements that they use in America. For all of them, we have the symbol. So centimeter, cm, millimeter, mm, micron is this strange symbol here that's like a Y back to front with an M, and then inch you can either put an apostrophe or IN. So for example, we could say 1 inch equals 2.4 centimeters. Or we could also say 1 millimeter equals 1,000 microns. So that's the meaning. Let's look at spelling. So centimeter, the problem here is that it is a long word, but it's not that difficult to spell. The only problem is this S sound at the start. People think it's an S, but it's a C. We're pronouncing the C as a S, centimeter. Also, sometimes you see this R and the E the other way round. That's fine. That's Britain and America spelled differently. For pronunciation, the stronger sound is on the first one and the third one. Centimeter, centimeter. So the strongest is the first, but we also pronounce the third one, centimeter. Millimeter. So you need to remember that when we do 1,000, we're talking about the double milli. So it's 1,000 millimeters is in 1 meter. So that's double li for that. And for pronunciation, we put the stronger sound again on the first and the third. Millimeter, millimeter. Micron is not that difficult to spell. The C in this one is a K sound. Here it was a S, here it's a K sound. And the stronger sound for the pronunciation is on the first one, micron, micron. And then inch is just one sound, but you need to remember to put the ch at the end when you're spelling it. Angular frequency, angular frequency. So this also uses this symbol here. We have D, a strange W that's from the Greek again, and then the capital B. And as you can see in this picture, it's difficult to explain without a maths teacher, but it describes the measure of something that rotates, something that turns, maybe like a wheel or a cog. The measure of rotation. For example, engineers use different units to measure angular frequency. So for spelling, it's difficult because it's 2 long words. We have angular, so remember to put the G. When we pronounce it, it's more like a GU, GU. So you might want to put a Y, but we don't put that in there. GU is GU. And L at the end needs an R, even though we don't really say it that strongly. Frequency. So the problem here will be this Qu sound. You hear a K, a K, and a W again. So KW is, we spell it with a QU, a bit like the word queen. So we have frequency. So for pronunciation, you need to remember to pronounce the stronger sound on the first, angular, and again on the first, frequency. Angular, frequency. Decibel. Decibel. So as you can see in this picture, there is a machine like a microphone and it's recording the sound of something. So this is decibel. It's a unit of sound intensity. The symbol is 1, small d, capital B. So for example, engineers measure sound levels using decibels. Now the spelling is difficult here in the middle because we have the s sound again of the C. So it's not a k, it's not decibel, it's decibel. We spell it with a C. And some people hear bell, which is double L, but we don't put that in this. It's B-E-L, which is strange. Usually we might put an L-E as well, but this is the way we spell it. And for pronunciation, the strongest sound is on the first one, decibel. Millibar. Millibar. So this is what you can see in the picture. It's a unit of measuring pressure. So pressure that might be in the pipes of something or in a machine. 1,000th of a bar. A bar is what you might put in your tires in a petrol station, in an ADNOC. So 1,000th of that, a much lower unit, is a millibar. And the symbol we use is 1 mbar. For example, the engineer checked the pressure of the gauge in millibars. So spelling again, like we had millimeter before, we have milli with the double L for 1,000, milli. And bar is quite easy to spell. Pronunciation would go stronger sound on the first two really together. Milli, millibar, millibar. Phase angle. Phase angle. This is really difficult to describe with a picture, but this picture is showing a phase angle. So this angle here between the two waves is the phase angle. It's the time period which measures the difference between waveforms. So for example, engineers use different units to measure the phase angle. For spelling and pronunciation, let's look at the first word. We have phase. It's a bit like the word face, but we have a z sound here for the S, z, phase, it's more of a Z, and PH for th. So you might use this for photograph. We put a PH for this, so phase. And then angle, not angel, this is angle. So we pronounce this second part of it gul, spelt G-L-E. So together it's not that hard to say, it's 3 sounds, phase, angle, phase angle. Time constant, time constant. Again, this is difficult to show with just a picture, but the graph is showing the time constant. So it's a measure of a circuit's reaction time. So you would need to gauge certain measurements from a circuit to gauge the reaction time and get the time constant. For example, engineers measure time difference using a time constant formula. So spelling and pronunciation, time is quite an easy word. You might see it a lot, but remember to put the E after the M because it changes the sound of this I. Without the E, it's just Tim. So the E changes it to time. Then we have constant with a K sound at the start, not a S, it's a constant. And for pronunciation, you would pronounce the time and the con. Time constant, time constant. Watt hour, watt hour. So the picture is trying to show that this is a measurement of electrical energy with the load of 1 watt for the hour. For example, a car battery has 600 watt hours, which is the same as 133 9-volt batteries. They would also have 600 watt hours, and also 67 smartphones would have 600 watt hours. So it's the energy capacity of each battery. So for example, engineers use watt hour to calculate power loads. So spelling and pronunciation. Watt is a surname. So it's exactly like the question word what, but that has H. This is the surname, so it has a capital W and ATT. And hour you will have spelt many times before. Don't forget the H is spelt, but we don't pronounce it. Hour. Two sounds. Hour. What hour? So let's review the words again. Centimeter, millimeter, micron, inch, angular frequency, decibel, millibar, phase angle, time constant, watt hour. Okay, hopefully that video will help you with measurements for your diploma in electrical engineering. Thank you.